Let's dive into this tiny farmhouse thing. We got a ton of articles on this.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's kind of going crazy for these
Uh,
tiny
mm,
farmhouses.
yeah.
And I got to say, I'm kind of getting swept up in it
I
too.
know, me too.
Um, just looking through these pictures,
Yeah.
these interiors are so charming.
So charming.
It's like, how do they pack so much style
Right.
and function into these little spaces?
Well, and you know what's cool is it's more than just the trendiness of tiny homes. It's like this desire for a simpler life,
Yeah,
a more intentional way of living
that's a good point.
that's really reflected in these design choices.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed that I really liked was how they create this feeling of space,
Mm-hmm.
in these tiny homes. Because you
Yeah.
think tiny home, you think cramped,
Right.
you think cluttered, but they don't feel like that at all.
No.
And they're using things like shiplap and
Yes.
exposed beams,
Yes.
and even just the way they do the lighting.
Yeah.
It's like there's some design magic happening.
It is design magic.
So let's talk about the shiplap first.
Okay.
I mean, we all know shiplap. It's
Right.
like Farmhouse 101.
Exactly.
But it's like those horizontal lines.
Yeah.
They actually make a room feel wider.
It's a visual trick.
It's a visual trick, totally.
Yeah.
And then you have the exposed beams, which run vertically,
Right.
drawing your eye up, making the ceiling seem higher.
Exactly. They're
Um,
playing with these vertical lines and then, like you said, the horizontal lines to really open up the space.
It's really smart. And
Yeah.
then the lighting. Like, I noticed a lot of wrought iron chandeliers
Oh, yeah.
and lots of windows.
Yeah.
So how does that all work together?
So light is crucial in any space, but especially in a tiny home.
Right?
Because
Okay.
you don't want it to feel like a cave.
Right.
So you have the ambient lighting, which is like those chandeliers.
Yeah.
That provides an overall illumination
Uh-huh.
and warmth. And then you can layer in task lighting, which could be like under cabinet lighting in the kitchen,
Oh, yeah.
or maybe a reading lamp by the window.
Oh, yeah, like a cozy little nook.
Exactly.
So let's move on to the kitchens.
Okay.
Because the kitchens in these tiny farmhouses
I know.
are just like this perfect blend of practicality and style.
Yeah,
You
right.
you see the deep apron sinks,
Yeah.
the open shelving with all the cute dishes, butcher block countertops, copper fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do they make it all work?
Right.
Like the open shelving, for example.
Yeah.
It looks really nice, but does it actually function?
Well, and that's the thing. It actually encourages that minimalist approach.
Okay.
You have to be really selective about what you put on those shelves.
Yeah.
You're going to keep the essentials, the things that spark joy.
Yeah.
Less is more.
It's very Marie Kondo,
Totally.
which really fits with the whole tiny house movement.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of tiny, let's talk about those lofted sleeping areas.
Okay.
I mean, the pictures, they look amazing.
Romantic.
Romantic. But I got to wonder,
Yeah.
how do you actually live up there?
Right.
Like, wouldn't you feel cramped?
Yeah, you would think so. But the way that they design these lofts is that they maximize both comfort and function.
Oh,
Built-in storage drawers under the bed
oh, that's smart.
that otherwise would be dead space.
Yeah.
And then they use all these reclaimed woods and cozy textiles to make it feel intimate,
That makes sense.
even though it's a small space.
And the view, I mean, imagine waking up
yeah.
to a skylight. Okay, so kitchens, lofts. What about the bathrooms? Tiny bathrooms.
Right.
But somehow they make them look luxurious.
I know.
They have clawfoot tubs,
Yes.
galvanized metal showers,
Mm.
repurposed vanities. It's like tiny but mighty.
Well, and that's the thing. Luxury isn't about square footage.
That's true.
It's about the experience that you create.
Yeah.
And so in a tiny bathroom, that might mean you have a statement piece,
Like a clawfoot tub.
like a clawfoot tub, exactly.
okay.
Or you use some reclaimed wood or vintage fixtures to really elevate that space.
It's like creating a spa
Exactly.
in your tiny little bathroom. I
Uh-huh.
love it. And it all comes back to this multifunctionality.
Mm-hmm.
We see it everywhere in these tiny homes.
Yeah.
You have like the drop leaf tables that are both dining and workspaces.
Yes.
Window seats with hidden storage.
Right.
Everything has a purpose.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
Exactly. So it's really about making the most
Yeah.
out of your space.
It's a necessity, but it also promotes this more mindful approach to living.
That's so true.
You think about how each piece is serving you
We have to.
and your lifestyle.
It's not just buying a bunch of stuff you don't need.
Exactly.
So after looking at all of this,
Yeah.
do you think you could embrace the tiny farmhouse lifestyle?
You know what fascinates me about it is it really challenges our assumptions about what a home should be.
Yeah.
It proves that you can have beauty and functionality no matter the size of your space. It's all about careful planning. creative solutions, a willingness to embrace a simpler, more intentional way of life.
Well said. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but I hope this has inspired you to think about, maybe downsizing
Yeah,
and embracing the tiny house movement.
it's a fun movement.
It is fun. All right, until next time, happy decorating.